What's up, y'all? I'm really not in the mood to do this live right now, but since I was literally following the events that are going on in Atlanta and in New York and I mean in DC and in Minnesota, there's just a lot going on tonight, and I felt like that we could probably get through some things together. I know that y'all have been watching closely the George Floyd situation and how everybody is outraged and certain things are happening, and we're kind of like looking at it a little bit skeptical because it's like I don't think we're the ones that are burning down our own communities. I don't feel like we're the ones that are, tossing Molotov cocktails, to the cause. I don't know. I mean, we are frustrated. I mean, how many times do we have to tell people to, stop killing us, stop shooting unarmed men, stop killing unarmed men, black men in particular? We are frustrated. And just like Martin Luther King said, riots are the voice of the unheard. So it's kind of like, I can't really condemn the people who are doing some of the things that they're doing out of outrage. But at the same time, I'm sitting here watching CNN earlier today, and it was like, it's not what y'all think, and when I was watching CNN, they were basically saying, Trump calling people thugs, making it seem like, forming this narrative as if it's all people of color who are setting the cities ablaze. And it's not. The people who we keep seeing are what? Caucasian males, front and center. And while they may be out there fighting for our cause as well, it just seems to me that they are the ones who are, causing the most, strife. This is Atlanta, like right now, live right now. I was literally watching this all unfold. It was a peaceful protest earlier today. I think it started around 5 or 6 this evening. And, as it got darker, things started to happen. Somebody set a police car aflame. They started breaking the windows of the CNN building. They started spray painting the CNN building downtown. And, all of us in Atlanta are like, why are they at CNN? From my perspective, when we watch the news, it's like CNN on our side. You know what I'm saying? Why are y'all at CNN? What is going on at CNN? They got y'all wanting to blow up CNN. And then I'm like, Trump doesn't like CNN. Maybe it's all a scheme. I don't know, but it's just like it's just getting so disheartening. It doesn't make sense. Thank you so much. Whoever said that. And I just kind of just wanted to come on for a second, for a little while, and just I don't know. It's just hard to take in. Not to say that I didn't know that it was coming to Atlanta. Hell, Atlanta is the home of the civil rights movement. Y'all can say anything y'all want to say about Atlanta, but Atlanta is the reason a lot of y'all have rights today because of Martin Luther King, Andrew Young, all of the greats that are here in Atlanta that fought for the rights that us as African Americans have. So that being said, when things like this happen, we always protest here in Atlanta. That's nothing new. We always protest in Atlanta. But, this situation, we've always been nonviolent. Dr. King has always, been in the back of our minds as our hero. We don't have to burn up things. So look at this. This is at the CNN Center downtown. We don't have to do these types of things. But again, wow, this is at the CNN Center downtown right now. Um, they're burning down downtown Atlanta. And there's nothing to loot in downtown Atlanta. A bunch of office buildings, the CNN Center, the AJC, places like that. Hell, little 5 Points ain't nothing down there but Marta and some pizza places. So what are y'all doing downtown? What are y'all doing? Like, I don't know. And then look, I'm gonna send myself this picture that was on CNN earlier today. Um, it was a white male front and center. God, gosh. This is just getting crazy. Hold on, I'm gonna put this picture in here. Front and center, breaking the glass at the CNN Center, and he bloodied his hand, and somebody like helped him fix it. But everyone was saying like, what is really going on? What is happening? Hold on, where is it? Is this it right here? I think this is it. Nope. Let me see. 29th today. I don't see the picture. For some reason it ain't popping up. There it is. Damn. Wait, I'm gonna get a few calls in a minute. Somebody has sent me this. I want to see. Killer Mike said so. Oh, this 20 minutes. I ain't gonna watch the whole 20. Let me see what Mike said. Hold on.
His hands in a minute, and this. Listen, we up here with
the fight you're fighting is valiant and noble. We totally understand it, but we are definitely putting city officials in a place where there's going to be a confrontation. We want people to be safe.
Absolutely. It's going to be out the city's hands in a minute, and it's going to be left in the hands of state troopers. And y'all, if you from Atlanta, you know.
Yeah, state troopers are lined up.
You dig what I'm saying?
Our police chief, who's saying that she's staving off as long as she can. She does not want to enter the park with violent means. Please, let's not put her in this position to do that.
Hey, listen, check this out, y'all. We understand how you feel, and we feel the same way you do. And a lot of this stuff, it's been a long time coming. However, we must remember, even though America may deserve this, Atlanta does not. And this is our country. This must be protected. This is sacred. When all that other shit dissipates, this is where we rebuild. This is where we start.
Absolutely. When Captain Johnson was murdered, her policemen were locked up. They were tried. They went to jail. Another brother was murdered. They all tried went to jail. Our history has been one of adjustment. Burning down our city right now, not good progress.
So
we're gonna let you peek in on the press conference with us. Y'all check us out.
And most of that shit going on out there, we know that ain't us.
One of them is 18 years old. I saw the murder of George Floyd. I heard like a mother. And on yesterday, when I heard there were rumors about violent protests in Atlanta, I deal with a mother with grief. I called my son and I said, "Where are you?" I said, "I cannot protect you. Black boys shouldn't be out today." So you're not going to out-concern me and out-care about where we are in America. I wear this each and every day for my children, and I pray over my children each and every day. So what I see happening on the street of Atlanta is not Atlanta. This is not a protest. This is not in the spirit of Martin Luther King Jr. This is chaos. A protest has purpose. When Dr. King was assassinated, we didn't do this to our city. So if you love this city that has had a legacy of Black mayors and Black police chiefs and people who care about this city, where more than 50% of the business owners in Metro Atlanta are minority business owners. If you care about this city, then go home and pray that somebody like Reverend Beasley will come and talk to you and give you some instructions on what a protest should look like and how you would effectuate change in America. This police chief made a video on yesterday, pull it up on YouTube, where she said she was appalled to watch the murder of George Floyd. This woman did that. You're not honoring the legacy of Martin Luther King Jr. and the civil rights movement. You're not protesting anything, running out with brown liquor in your hands, breaking windows in this city. T.I. and Killer Mike own half the West Side. So when you burn down this city, you're burning down our community. If you want change in America, go and register to vote. Show up at the polls on June 9th. Do it in November. That is the change we need in this country. You are disgracing our city. You are disgracing the life who has been killed in this country. Person who has been killed in this country. We are better than this. We're better than this as a city. We are better than this as a country. Go home. Go home. In the same way I can protect my son on yesterday, I cannot protect you out in those streets. You're throwing knives at our police officers. You are burning cars. You have to face the CNN building. Ted Turner started CNN in Atlanta 40 years ago because he believed in who we are as a city. There was a Black reporter who was arrested on camera this morning who works for CNN. They are telling our story, and you are disgracing their building. This is not the legacy of civil rights in America. This is chaos, and we're buying into it. This won't change anything. We're no longer talking about the murder of an innocent man. We're talking about how you're burning police cars on the streets of Atlanta, Georgia. Go home. You don't want to say anything?
I've already said what I had to say. Atlanta is a place where people like me, Kevin Mike, other artists, creators, other people who come from our culture, and other people who rise out of the wreckage of the struggle that we all experience just by being born a certain color in this country. But Atlanta is a place where we can set an example of prosperity, and we've done that for generations. People like Dr. King, Mayor Jackson, Ambassador Young have paved the way for us. When everything else goes away, when you don't get treated right in New York, when you don't get treated right in LA, when you can't get treated right in Detroit, when you don't get treated right in St. Louis, when you don't get treated right in Alabama, Atlanta has been here for us. This city don't deserve it. However, I understand that a lot of others do. But we can't do this here. This is what comes. It's safe. It must be protected.
I didn't want to come, and I don't want to be here. I'm the son of an Atlanta City police officer. My cousin is an Atlanta City police officer, and my other cousin is one police officer. And I got a lot of love and respect for police officers, down to the original 8 police officers in Atlanta that even after becoming police had to dress in a YMCA because white officers didn't want to get dressed with niggas. Here we are 80 years later. I watched a white officer assassinate a black man, and I know that tore your heart out. And I know it's crippling. And I have nothing positive to say in this moment. I don't want to be here. But I'm responsible to be here because it wasn't just Dr. King and people dressed nicely who marched and protested to progress this city and so many other cities. It was people like my grandmother, people like my aunts and uncles, who were members of the SCLC and NAACP, and in particular, Reverend James Orange, Mrs. Alice Johnson, and Reverend Love, who we just lost last year. So I'm duty bound to be here to simply say that it is your duty not to burn your own house down for anger with an enemy. It is your duty to fortify your own house so that you may be a house of refuge in times of organization. And now is the time to plot, plan, strategize, organize, and mobilize. It is time to beat up prosecutors you don't like at the voting booth. It is time to hold mayoral officers accountable, chiefs and deputy chiefs. Atlanta is not perfect, but we're a lot better than we ever were, and we're a lot better than cities are. I'm mad as hell. I woke up wanting to see the world burn down yesterday. I'm tired of seeing black men die. He casually put his knee on a human being's neck for 9 minutes as he died like a zebra in the clutch of a lion's jaw. And we watch it like murder porn over and over again. So that's why children are burning to the ground. They don't know what else to do. And it is the responsibility of us to make this better. Right now, we don't want to see one officer charged. We want to see 4 officers prosecuted and sentenced. We don't want to see targets burning. We want to see the system that sets up for systemic racism burnt to the ground. And as I sit here in Georgia, home of Stevens, Georgia, former vice president of the Confederacy, white man said that law, fundamental law stated that whites were naturally the superior race. And the Confederacy was built on a cornerstone. It's called a cornerstone speech. Look it up. The cornerstone speech that blacks would always be subordinate. That officer believed that speech because he killed that man like an animal. In this city, officers have done horrendous things and they have been prosecuted. This city's cut different. In this city, you can find over 50 restaurants owned by black women. I didn't say minority, and I didn't say women of color. So after you burn down your own home, what do you have left but charge and ash? CNN? Ted's did a great thing. I love CNN, I love Cartoon Network, but I'd like to save CNN right now. Karma's a mother. Stop feeding fear and anger every day. Stop making people feel so fearful. Give them hope. I'm glad they only took down a sign in the face of the building and they're not killing human beings like that policeman did. I'm glad that they only destroyed some brick and mortar and they didn't rip a father from a son. They didn't rip a son from a mother like the policeman did. When a man yells for his mother in duress and pain and she's dead, he is essentially yelling, please God, don't let it happen to me. And we watch that. So my question for us on the other side of this camera is after it burns, will we be left with charred or will we rise like a phoenix out of the ashes that Atlanta has always done? Will we use this as a moment to say that we will not do what other cities have done, and in fact, we will get better than we did? We got good enough to destroy cash funds. You don't have to worry about going to jail for some petty. We got smart enough to decriminalize marijuana. How smart are we going to be in the next 15 or 20 years to keep us ahead of this curve? So that much like when South Africa suffered apartheid, you had Andy and other politicians that could make sure that Atlanta said, Coca-Cola, we love you, but if you don't pull out of South Africa, we're going to leave. We're not going to drink Coca-Cola anymore. Coca-Cola jumped on their side and apartheid ended. So we have an opportunity now. Because I'm mad, I don't have any advice. But what I can tell you is that if you sit in your homes tonight, instead of burning your home to the ground, you will have time to properly plot, plan, strategize, and organize and mobilize in an effective way. And 2 of the most effective ways is first taking your butt to the computer and making sure you fill out the census so that people know who you are and where you are. The next thing is making sure you exercise your political bully power and going to local elections and beating up the politicians that you don't like. You got a prosecutor sent your partner to jail and you know it was bullshit. Put a new prosecutor in there. Now's your election to do it. You want a different senator that's more progressive, that votes marijuana through. Now's the time to do that. But it is not time to burn down your own home. I love and I respect you. I hate I don't have more to say. I hate I can't fix it in a snap. I hate Atlanta's not perfect for as good as we are. But we have to be better than this moment. We have to be better than burning down our own homes. Because if we lose Atlanta, what else we got? We lose an ability to plot, to plan, to strategize, to organize, and to properly mobilize. I want you to go home. I want you to talk to 10 of your friends. I want you guys to come up with real solutions. I would like for the Atlanta City Police Department to bring back the Community Review Board, one that Alice Johnson was formerly under Chief Turner. We need a review board here because we need to get ahead of it before an officer does some stupid shit. We need to get ahead of it. That's my recommendation to my mayor and my chief. Let's get a review board. Let's get ahead of it, and let's give them power. We don't need an officer that makes a mistake once, twice, 3 times, and finally he kills a boy on national TV, and the next thing you know, the country is burning down. We don't need a dumbass president repeating what segregation is there. You start, we start. But the problem is some officers black and some people gonna shoot back, and that's not good for our community either. I love and respect you all. I hope that you find a way out of it because I don't have the answers, but I do know we must fight, we must plan, we must strategize, organize, and mobilize. Thank you for allowing me time to speak. I like to appreciate our chief for what you said on YouTube. I thought it was very bold.
But you know, it's just a lot. It's just a lot to take in, and I appreciate y'all, you know, communicating and talking this through with me. You know, the solution will not come easily. It will not come overnight, clearly, but at least, you know, it's creating a conversation. You can't say that people aren't paying attention now when every major city, you know, things are happening. And not to say that, you know, we want every major city to burn down, but at least now it's like people are paying attention. Can't nobody say, oh, there's really not racism. Oh, you know, these things just happen to certain people that shouldn't be in certain places. No, that's not what happens. And throughout, you know, the years, all of these hashtags, each and every hashtag, the Sandra Bland's, the Trayvon Martin, the George Floyd, and it's just been so many I can't remember. Please just forgive me. It's just not slipping, but you know, it's just so many hashtags of so many lives lost. And we, you know, we champion the cause for, you know, a good couple of weeks. Then we move on to the next. We move on to the next hashtag or the next person. And so, you know, again, like, you know, it's the frustration. It's the frustration of the unheard that's causing all of this. And so, you know, somebody has to speak on it. You know, now they at the White House burning stuff up, threatening the White House. They're going to burn up the White House. Now they in LA turning over cars. Now somebody, you know, our leadership, even though, you know, our leadership has called the protestors thugs. Something has to be done. Somebody needs to take the mic from Donald Trump and just speak on it and lead the people to where they feel a bit more comfortable about life in general. Because right now, nobody's safe. It's just clear. Nobody's safe. It doesn't matter who you are. You could die too. You could die tomorrow. And especially if you are, you know, a black male or female in this society. There's just so much going on. But anyway, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. And I'm sorry I keep freezing. It's a YouTube thing. I don't even know if y'all can see my mouth. Let me see. I think I'm frozen. Let me see. Am I frozen? Yep, I'm frozen now. So let me go. My computer tired. I'm tired. I will see y'all tomorrow. Once I got this out my system, so, you know, maybe we can go back to our naturally scheduled program and, you know, giggle and laugh about things that, you know, won't make us cry. So thank you guys. I appreciate you. And thank you for the super chats. I appreciate you, and the cash apps. Thank you so much. And good night. Even though y'all can't see me waving, I'm waving. Bye.